Wilds of Eldraine has been that we are nearly a full 2 weeks through getting access to the cards, and we're just now booting up Mosswood Dreadknight, one of like the best 2 drops we've seen in a long time. Very, very powerful card. Kind of took me a while to get to this deck list, but the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty conceptually excited about it. Mosswood Dreadknight is a very powerful card. It obviously fits into the general green-black X archetype. This is a 2-mana 3/2. When it dies, you can cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of your next turn. The adventure is draw a card, lose a life. But you could just keep doing that over and over and over and over again. If you draw a Mosswood Dreadknight and your opponent isn't able to exile it, you are gonna, be attacking for 3 or drawing cards every single turn. And what's like really cool about like the way like this archetype has developed over the last like couple of sets is that you're very incentivized to like if you're not playing Scam, which has a hard time playing 4-drops, you're very incentivized to play Sheoldred Ring. We played a lot of like the mono black 4-drops without coffers with Sheoldred and Ring, and like Nassif has also been working on the archetype, and this is kind of the same deck, splash in green. But I think with compared to mono black, you're a lot more happy splashing for Delighted Halfling now because of Mosswood Dreadknight than you were in the past, where this is a card that can give you some very powerful nut draws, can allow you to play Sheoldred and Ring uncounterable early, but it was I think true before without the Dreadknights that you kind of ran the risk of running out of things to do with your mana. Dreadknight is really, really good at making sure you don't run out of things to do with your mana. Same thing with Cling to Dust to some extent. Also, I've been thinking that the Field of Ruin effects are so important in the black-based mid-range decks in general, and these are not lands that you can really support playing in Jund. When you compare this deck's mana requirements to Jund, it's so crazy how much easier and less painful the mana is here. To not need to play Wrenn and 6, to not have 3 colors. Sometimes you have double red cards, sometimes you have double black cards. Stuff's very painful, but here it's not only is your mana base very, very low on damage. I'm only playing 4 fetch lands, 4 shock lands, and then I'm playing pathways or fast lands, so our 4-drops can enter untapped. Everything just costs 1 color of mana until you get to your 4-drops, and 4-drops that cost 2 are not too hard to cast. And you can even play Field of Ruins in your mana base in black green, which is I think very, very good at the moment. So this is, and then another thing, and also having this less painful mana base is relevant with Mosswood Dreadknight, a card that is going to lose you some life over the course of the game. Another reason why I think I just actually want to be black green instead of John. There's it's been a long time I think since I feel like there's been a good reason to be just black green mid range, and it's very interesting that Mosswood Dreadknight is a new card that I think kind of conceptually fits a lot of these new rules for building these decks. I don't know if I did a great job articulating that. JTH with a 6/5. Sketchy keep. Main phase fetch up a fountain, so it brings a hammer. Let's go ahead and get this dead. So if we can draw a land and Field of Ruin the Saga before Chapter 3 happens. If my opponent gets Cauldra, am I supposed to Edict the Stoneforge, or am I supposed to Edict the token? I think you're supposed to Edict the Stoneforge because of Paladin, but making them use 2 mana and these kind of spots are in the back foot is tough. I wish someone in Utah would have invited me up. I think they did the previous year, and I didn't respond because I didn't know what it was, and I was busy. But I don't think they did this year, probably because I didn't respond the prior year. Yeah, if we draw a land, we get to go Field, Halfling, and start playing our 4-drops. What are we taking about here? Should have main in case they have Cauldron in hand. Well, the thing is, we could just Edict the token if they have Cauldron in hand, but they didn't tutor Cauldra, so it's so playing that hard around it doesn't make a ton of sense, I think. Edict this unfortunate case of Spell Pierce. I mean, we're gonna cast it end of turn if we don't draw anything. And we didn't draw a land in the top 3, which kind of feels bad. Opponent's hand has 2 equippers, and they have a hammer here. Probably good enough for me, because if I take... They're going to make a token. If I take hammer, they fortune to the hammer back. If I take paladin, they kill... If I don't take paladin, they just kill me. They actually kill me with the fortune too, so yeah, let's concede. Okay, game 2. Bring in the forces, the explosives... I think I want to break the ice. I want the Boseiju. Can cut a land. I'm gonna cut the Clean to Dust. This is definitely, I think this is a very bad matchup for Mosswood Dreadknight for what it's worth. That's okay. You play these for like the Scam and the Murktide matchups, and you can trim them in matchups like this and against Titan. Trim with Thoughtseize too. Mountain Splash, 12 months. Thank you. Welcome back. And keep this. Obviously, kind of hope we draw a green card, but Ring is also very, very good against Hammer. Trim Bowmaster because they should trim Sentinel. I mean, Bowmaster is, I think, even fine against them. Like you can trim it. I think if we had better cards than Bowmaster, maybe, but like, I actually don't know that they should be trimming Sentinel. Like that, this is something that I think is still a little bit up in the air, but they still have Inkmoth Nexus is a good Bowmaster target. It still triggers if they're drawing off Paladin. Triggers if they draw off any Horizon lands. I think it's still a card that you want. It's 2 blockers. Sometimes you kill a Urza Saga token if they don't have any other artifacts. Doesn't happen that often, but happen sometimes. For the 1 of Thoughtseize, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Sentinel is just so fucked up. It's like... It's so swingy. I understand it's bad against Bowmasters, but also like, here's the thing too. It's like you're like, oh, they should be cutting Sentinel. Like, what if they're like, oh, they're cutting Bowmaster because they think I'm cutting Sentinel? There's also like a little bit of a weird level there. You know what I mean? That is one thing I really liked about the Heliod deck yesterday. It's like, you can protect your Sentinel from Bowmaster a lot of the time. Especially if you get it off Ranger Captain. Feels like actually very likely they have Spell Pierce, so they just do nothing here. Forge New is a very good card, I'll tell you that. Wait, did they have another Saga? They didn't play Saga this turn? I guess they want to forge anew and then start making tokens. Cool. Yeah, I think it's fine to cut Sentinels against Bowmaster decks, but it's also like... I don't know, like... I don't think that you used to cut Sentinel against Wrenn and 6 decks, but I guess you get to draw a card if they Wrenn and 6 killed the Bowmaster... Kill the Sentinel on turn 2, so maybe that's not a good comparison. It's interesting. Well, Ring is very good. Obviously, you have to draw cards, though, that impact the game here. That is a card that impacts the game. Although, they're going to have a second creature at least with the Saga, so they're going to be able to hit me with the hammer if I don't draw anything. Because they can move the hammer around if I just block the Giver. So, are we dead? I cut... Wait, where did my other swamp go? Don't I have... I have 5 basics and I cut the, swamp is here, the other forest is gone. Just more salt in the wound. I thought going down to 4 basics would be fine. Should bring in the extra Boseiju. The concept was a lot of matchups hammers, which have a lot of game ones. Never cutting for Bob mid by Inspector. Let's surely. Yeah, I agree with that. I have to block the construct here and just take 11. And then we, you can have some crazies. Oh, what? Oh, they're just gonna pro black. Nope, they let me block. They let me block, chat. They let me block. What the fuck? I guess they assumed I had a fatal push or something. But you could, you still, I don't know. They let me block. Make cyber question because you're a better player and to hear your thoughts, not say mine are better. Hear your thought, not to say mine are better. Yeah, I understand. I know I could be kind of like sassy and whatever, but it's always in the interest of finding what the best plan is. It's not, I'm never like offended or anything. I'm just trying to I'll figure it out with you, you know what I mean? Okay, still dead. Any plans to breed spam Beanstalk? I don't know, I don't usually play and stream super far in ahead. I also don't usually just play other people's decks as is, but Breed's deck is very cool. It also is kind of looks like a deck that's a big headache to play on stream for whatever that's worth. Like I have to block the construct, I think, with the Sheoldred. Yeah, they're playing around a fatal push. They've convinced themselves I have fatal push, so I have to be like, oh yeah, I'm hoping that you pro black. I'm hoping that you do this, which is all not true. But if I just play Bowmaster, then they pro black and I'm just dead on board. So opinions, new card Dreadknight. I don't know. Maybe someone can watch and help me find it, figure out. Maybe can anybody watch and tell me if they think it's good? I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know is actually the answer. It's been okay so far. It doesn't feel like a huge game changer. It's bad at matchups like this. It's good against matchups with a lot of black removal, which we played against. This is, this is the current evaluation. But it's just a bit early to tell you card good or card bad. It's just a bit early. But also, this is I'm also just kind of making fun of like the Magic Twitch community in general, because every time you stream with a new card, like half of the comments like, "Hey, is the card good?" Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving after you tell me if the card is good or bad. I just want to know. I'm not staying today, but I just say good or bad. You don't even have to say any more good or bad. I'm very busy. You don't want to stay. You don't want to hang out. We haven't hung out in forever, chat. We haven't hung out in ages. Oh, the halfling being green actually means I'm kind of pretty alive in our next turn. Listen, 3 months ago, thank you. I might not block here. I might not block, as I pro everything. So I have another hammer, which they can't equip this turn for whatever that's worth. Another land. I'm on like 23, right? I'm not on like a crazy number. 23 plus the halflings, I guess. So we have 2 in the graveyard. We have 8 in play, and we have 6 in hand. So we have 7 lands left in our 31 card deck. Maybe you could just to kill the giver. No, I need to play around Shadow Spear, never mind. And we literally have a spell in the hand. I don't know what I'm complaining about. I did not decide to move deck decks over to a different platform like Cameo. I don't know. Listen, there's just so many hours in the day. There are only so many hours in the day, y'all. Okay, now I'll kill the giver, I think. Yesterday, I was in front of a camera for 9 hours and working on magic stuff like 3 more hours yesterday. It's like, I just don't know when I'm supposed to also be doing cameo deck decks. I don't know at what point over the course of my day I'm supposed to be doing these cameo deck decks. I'm sorry. It's just like also like with, you know, like I like if I'm doing anything, I need to be doing extra YouTube content. It's just tough. I'm streaming 6 days a week, and I'm doing deck decks I'm doing work every single day. I just don't know that it's gonna happen, but maybe it'll happen, and it will happen for sure. Yeah. When am I supposed? Yeah. I guess I could just do it while. Yeah. I'll just like be playing Baldur's Gate and also talk about do deck decks at the same time. Why did we kill the token? Because the token matters less than the protection effect, I think. But we just have infinite blockers. Yeah, I could play a Tarmogoyf. Maybe we're supposed to main phase the Force to give them less time to draw a protection spell too. They shocked? Fuck, they have Cauldra. No. Okay, I have pro everything right now though. And man, I could have even killed the Paladin if I had played Bowmaster instead of Tarmogoyf this turn. You could do one stream a week when you play anything you like. Just do deck decks throughout. Win! Win! I don't know. No, I'll never do a deck tech again. You can't make me. Force takes some Metalcraft. Metalcraft doesn't matter. I have protection from everything. I think I'm gonna Bowmaster ping them. I think that like this. I need to figure out a way to race, and this is a big part of that. Probably. I don't need to force right now. Spike, you're working 7 days a week. Can you also do an extra stream where you just hang out and do deck decks all day? which day is this? I feel like deck decks made YouTube videos way less watchable. I know, that's why I don't do them anymore too. Or like I just do the channel point ones. I don't know. I don't know. Don't force the construct ever now. They can instant speed move the call to their turn, yeah. Is this a May draw? It is a May draw. They're thinking about not drawing a card here. Seeing the name next card, double revealed. Okay, mods, refund these. I'm not singing. I'm not doing anything ever. Although I guess I could sing one. I don't have to sing two. I only have to sing one. No, I'll sing. Never mind. Don't refund them. But I only have to sing one card. I only have to sing one card. Okay, well I still have pro everything. So this is okay. It's actually huge. It's so good for me that they're attacking because now I can just kill the construct and kill them, right? Or they block here. Esther with the 30 months. Thank you, sweetie. Chat, aren't we having such a good, happy, friendly day here over on twitch.tv/aspiringspike? We're getting along, and nobody's yelling at anybody. Nobody's yelling at anybody. Right? I'm totally gonna forget to sing this card. Oh wait, Esther, do you want to sing the card? Esther, we're actually doing a lot of deck text today too. Esther, do you want to sing the card? Do you have time? Are you gone? Yeah, I'm outsourcing the card singing. But we'll sing the next two because there were 2 redemptions. I was always gonna sing 2, but now Esther's gonna sing both of them.
Are you
this one
in the dark on purpose?
Well, I just am so angry and I have such pain in my heart. Okay, sing this card and this card. If only anyone could gift. 5
If only someone would fatal push me into my overgrown tomb.
Wow, that's great. Just like Andrea's rap.
Your overgrown tomb.
Yeah, this stream room is my overgrown tomb.
Well, I got a new guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
He bought me a new one.
Yeah.
Because the guitar that I previously had, I didn't realize, was a classical guitar. So it has different strings. So it creates a different sound. So I got a normal steel string one. It's really pretty.
Bring in the needle. They have 2 Forge News. Needle is a bit better. Trim 1. Yeah, I think we might. I think we drew almost every land of the deck. I think there's probably a few left. You singing in duo? I just don't. I don't sing very good. I don't like to sing with Esther. Esther also hates when I sing with her, to be honest, because I just out of tune and and stuff. Well, we'll keep this. It's a crazy game. I'm really, kind of surprised we won. I don't know if we win if my opponent doesn't forget pro everything. We might have been able to figure it out. We have a million sideboard cards with this hand though. Also, now that I think, I don't think we've seen an Ink Moth Nexus this game, have we? So get a hammer. Gonna draw a land. Bantammer. Well, they're just like blue-white splash haywire might, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We also won because my opponent, like, just convinced themselves I had Fatal Push, which is, like, I guess kind of reasonable. But they should have just that turn they attacked Giver and Construct. They should have attacked with both. And then if I'm pushing one, if I'm pushing one of those 2 things, then they just move the. If I push the Giver, they move it over to Construct and vice versa. You know. You did end up having Fatal Push? Yeah, yeah, only like 8 cards later. The opponent is tanking, dude. Lavinia. Yeah, let's Edict them. I was thinking about potentially trying to use explosives on 2. I think I would rather just go explosives on 1 and then shock and Overgrown Tomb probably. Oh yeah, also okay, yeah, they and Lavinia is so awkward in these kind of matchups too, where it's like, this is, they may think I have more Force of Vigors than I do, but this is saying, okay, your Force of Vigor, that's going to be incredibly good against me. You can't Force of Vigor until turn 4, but also I'm taking turn 2 off to do nothing. It's like, it's really not where you want to be. Like, I remember back towards the beginning of Modern Horizons 2, people would just play like a million, like they would play Torpor Orbs, or I guess Torpor Orbs is kind of not a good example. They would play like Void Mirror to stop people from evoking Solitude. But because you took turn 2 off to do nothing, like you just give your control opponent enough time to hardcast the stuff, and then your card does nothing. Might save this for Cauldra. Yeah, probably have to. Yeah, or the Void Mirror against Tron. They just have green every time. Although, to be honest, Void Mirror is a lot better against Tron than it used to be because they just don't play as many stars and spheres anymore. It's like, there's actually a lot more Tron hands that just don't have green mana. Okay, so they do get Cauldra, which means that we're going to be kind of cold to a Pally this game. So, I suppose I feel lucky enough to be able to Thoughtseize here. Second Lavinia, huh? It's kind of nuts the mid-range deck and slug it out in current Modern. I don't know. It's kind of, to me, I feel like current Modern is defined by mid-range decks in a big way. Like, when you think of the top decks in Modern, you think of like Scam, Murktide, Bean decks. I don't know. The Coffers deck is also pretty mid-rangey. Yeah, I think we're maybe in the most mid-rangey era of Modern ever. Gem Saga is a pretty good deck. There's a lot of good mid-range stuff. Rhinos is mid-range? Yeah, I think you could classify Rhinos as mid-range. You could also classify Rhinos as bullshit, maybe. But yeah, I agree that like there was a long time where this wasn't the case, and you just had, you know, linear decks being so dominant, and I would like to see linear decks be buffed a little bit somehow in Modern. Is Death Shadow still a good mid-range deck? I think it's, you know, a little bit worse than other options in a lot of ways, but it's not terrible. So the Cauldron is gone. I have infinite answers for Urza Sagas, so let's just go ahead and, you know, throw this at a, you know, a creature here. ZJRC with the Twitch Prime, thank you. Although we are very cold to a Forge anew. Admittedly. Though we can try to draw, I guess our best draw, we could draw Ring, we could draw Sheoldred. I guess Sheoldred's maybe not as good, but we could draw Explosives on 2. We have 2 more Explosives in the deck. Surprising sack Lavinia. I don't know. I don't even know which card you're confusing this with. Lavinia does not have a sacrifice ability. Oh wait, I know which one. You're confusing it with Linvala. Linvala, which is also a blue-white creature, but 3 mana angel with a similar sounding name for sure. Maybe I want to get them off of Haywire Might. Maybe I want to get them off of blue. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this. Let's get them off blue. Oh, to the Edict. Man, what is wrong with me today? I mean, what's wrong with me is I was in front of a camera for like 9 hours yesterday because of the Super League, and my brain is always like a little bit mushy after these like super long days. Octopus with the 15 months, thank you. Welcome back. I did have fun with the Super League. It was really long though. Like I did like a 4-hour stream, took like an hour lunch break, was in the lobby for like 30 minutes, took a little bit of a break. Then the Super League stream was like it was like 4.5 hours. It was, and then like, you know, if I wasn't playing, I was commentating. It was long. It was very long. It was a long day. But it was a good time. Don't get me wrong. All right, let's we have answers to the Hammer of the Force. Let's get the ball rolling a little bit here. They bring in Sanctifier because it's good against some of your threats. I mean, I think just like it is protection from my removal color. That's good enough, I would guess. Yeah, it was very fun. It was very fun. It was just a bit longer than I was planning for. Isn't Cauldron indestructible? Yeah. Yeah, this Linvala is really bad, but the one that's in their hand is even worse. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing my new ring this turn. Just chilling. I thought about doing more commentary. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing solo commentary every single day. Every single day on my own channel, maybe. What do y'all think about that? Solo commentary, How does that sound? Sounds like an idea. No, you're right. I'm not very good at solo commentary. I push the brute. I just want to use my mana. I'm drawing all these cards. That's what I'm doing now? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I like streaming more than I like doing commentary. Commentary is fine. To an extent, there's always this dynamic when you're doing commentary where you just have to keep it moving, you know. You have to keep it moving. And Magic is a game where things are not always moving. It's like if like especially in these like, you know, tournament series, like one player is so clearly gonna win and it takes like 10 minutes, feeling that dead air is tough. When you're streaming, you just concede. When you're streaming, you do a bit of banter with chat. When you're streaming, you just talk a little shit, and it's fun. It's fun, and commentary is fun too. But it's the you have to be very polite, and you have to be very, you know, yeah. It's like I can't really articulate it with words, but I can articulate it with sounds. It's just kind of sometimes it's a little, but it is, you know, fun and rewarding, and it's cool to get to hang out with some of the coolest people in the community, of course. You just get to be a little bit more relaxed when you're streaming, and I like that. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Alright, turn 2 Linvala, 9 turns later, chump block and a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, and then like a player will punt, and it's okay, you know, punts happen, but a player will punt, and you'll have to like make up a reason why they might do the play, but it's just a punt, you know. But you do it because you know that the commentators will do the same for you. They'll do the same for you when you punt. They'll do the same for you. Lavinia, modern playable? Do you mean Linvala? I think you're thinking of Linvala, actually, the 3-mana angel. That was a deep cut. Really circling back, huh? That's the first time you said Lavinia today? You mean Linvala, the angel. Is it for the grinding matchups my least favorite card justification? Well, it's my I don't like it when it's in the sideboard, usually. Like sideboarding like random unplayable card. But Modern is also like very grindy at the moment. I think main decking these grindy cards is fine. Odessa, 18 months, thank you. You still lost after all that? That doesn't mean it was bad. You know, maybe a hot flash. No, that's not the word. News flash, not hot flash. News flash. You can lose and still have a card be good over the course of the game. Voidwalker much greater than Mosswood? Maybe, yeah. I'll say this though, like I've played like these green-black green Sheoldred decks in the past, and like one thing you really want is another good 2-mana creature. You want you don't want if you play Voidwalker, you can't really play all these Field of Ruins, and you want another card draw engine, which is like exactly what Mosswood Dreadknight is. Okay, so you don't always want to field the... Oh, I should attack first, but I want to make sure I can get my double black next turn. Yeah, this was an oopsie. What can I say? I did want to do this on my turn because I won't be able to guarantee double black otherwise. But I missed a point of damage. It's kind of cool that Beseech can cast suspend cards like Profane Tutor. Okay, it is cool that it can cast suspend cards like Profane Tutor. Casting Profane Tutor wouldn't be good though. But yeah, I know what you mean. Oh man, and they have an awful hand. I could have saved the field. They find a swamp, so there. Coffers can tap for mana next turn. What's funny about Beseech too? I know that's not what you meant, but if you go if you Beseech for Profane Tutor, like you just could just not use the these bargain mode. You could just search a card. You could just search a card. So they kick a Bloodchief's Thirst. Play another Tablet. Tablet is so interesting here. I'm kind of a tablet hater. And usually you want to see Expedition maxed out over a tablet, but I can't really imagine that they have tablet and map, you know? Song of Creation and Geisel and Legacy. Yeah, that sounds pretty... I think Boseiju is, you know, very good combo card in Legacy. You lack, like, so many good enablers and payoffs for it in Modern. So they find a Field of Ruin here. They also have Valky in their deck. Oh, no. Should I tell them that they can't Beseech for Valky? Because they totally think they can Beseech into this, right? That's why it's here. Or they can Beseech into Valky, they can't Beseech into Tybalt. Don't tell them. When should I tell them? They gotta learn. Yeah, but can't they learn by me telling them? I don't know. Yeah, I gotta tell them. Just friendly heads up. That has to be why it's in the deck, though. I don't think they're just casting it. Although they probably have a red source in their deck. Why can't you? Don't ask me. Don't ask me how. Judges explained it to me in great detail, and I can't remember. But I know you can't. Or I know I've been told that you can't. I don't know, maybe the judges are wrong. Backseating opponent? I don't know. It's like I feel like I would want my opponent to tell me if my combo didn't work, instead of having to play the rest of the league. They also have main deck explosives. Ugh, that card's good here. Wow, card draw spell when you're flooding? That's a good draw. I believe a judge over Moto. Well, we have, you know, MTGO user chats here. Oh, that's what you're saying. Never mind. Oh, I think they're going to cast Boseiju on a cast a card. Okay, well, they'll get their coding. Okay, they say they only want to run Boseiju. Okay. I don't know why they have Valky. They're asking me what to get. I'm telling them coding. But he gets rid of Karn? Yeah, that's why I'm telling them to get coding. Worm Coil. That card's awful here. Alright, sack your card. Alright, we didn't draw Dreadknight, so we lost. Their build is pretty non-standard from the usual version. I guess I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down an extra Fatal Push. Like, they probably have Sheoldred, but they may not have Bowmaster with this build. Let's go down to 2. We saw the edicts and stuff too. You're all over the place today. Tell about the combo and act nice, then try to mind game them. This isn't mind gaming them. Are you kidding? There's a difference between. I'm sure you're probably kidding, but if you should not ask your opponent for advice in the game and ever expect them to give you good advice on how to beat you. There's a big difference. This is banter. This is banter. Just lying. Yeah, I don't. It's not lying. This is banter. Obviously, coding isn't good here. And if they think it's good here, like, I don't know what to tell you. But, like, you should never, you know, you should. This is not a real thing. Like, it is. It's, you know, I don't. Hey, what should I get here? You know, like, I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your cards. Or is it banter? I'm gonna look at this. Actually, kidding. I don't know. It's the chats, but I've been all over the place today. Yeah, I did realize you were probably kidding. Like, what, 2 seconds since my rant? These hands. Let's go to 4, I think. Or do you just keep and try to draw a land? I'm gonna keep. I don't know. I think a Mold of 4 is gonna be hard to win. I think this hand's gonna be hard to win. I think we put back the Dreadknight since we don't really need the second one. Or maybe we want back the Goyf. Come on, Dreadknight. 4? I don't know. 4 also feels like it's likely losing. I mean, this hand has a plan. This hand has a plan. Draw a land, and then we have 2 of the best card of the matchup. I don't know. Although it's kind of unclear which we would want to draw, green or black. But they also have Urborg in their deck. It's just a bit weird. Mar with the 19, thank you. They suspended Profane Tutor. Wow. And y'all wanted to go to 4? Y'all wanted to go to 4. I don't know how this happened. I think I take the Tome. Like, I'm pretty happy if they just thirst me. Go to 4. How about draw perfectly instead? Okay. How about draw perfectly instead? No, the Thoughtseize bug. Another land would be perfect. Wow, so unlucky. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. What do they get with their Profane Tutor here? They just Profane Tutor for coding. So that we don't know what the card they tutored was yet. They're plussing here. We just make them sack a Planeswalker, play a Dreadknight. If I had one more black, I may have attacked and tried to trade for the Tome and then replay. But with knowing they have another card too, it's good to have pressure in play. Athena. Athena gets so jumpy when there's rain outside. They put a card on the bottom. Come here, Athena. Come here. No, I just want to stand and look scared. Yeah. Going crazy. Come here. No, she just wants to be jumpy. Thought about trying Beanstalk in the Invasion deck from a while back. No, but it sounds really fun. I actually love the idea. I'm going to put it in the... Because I am working on a new Bean build. Or a new Invasion build. But yeah, I agree we should be playing Bean, so... I'll add that to the note. No Saga in this deck. You don't want to play Saga without Wrenn and 6 in Rock decks, I think. So maybe just grab like a Worm Coil here. Yeah, we did beat the Hammer player. It was tough. They assumed that we drew any interactive spell in like 7 cards, and they assumed wrong. So we won. Okay, they get Worm Coil again. I will play around push, I think, by sitting both here. Second Boseiju, huh? Two cards down, so our ring definitely gets better. He plans on returning Dark Souls no hit. I'd like to start again at some point this year, probably towards winter time. You know, right now, like, we're still like new set release season, so my head and my heart is like always on, you know, playing the new cards for a while. But I'm definitely open to trying again. I had a lot of fun with it. It was just something that was very hard to juggle. Man, that's like no lands in like 6 cards or something. Both face, play Sheoldred, opponent taps up from recoil, Boseiju it, and blocks. Kill them is the YOLO play would have taken. I think YOLO play against an opponent who's tutored a card with Profane Tutor, we don't know what it is. Who still has card in play and can get like Ensnaring Bridge or Ring is kind of silly. is gaining 4 life off the tome. Am I gonna double block the Swarm Coil? I don't know. I don't think so. No attacks? What are we doing here? No attacks. Be exciting to win on the multi-5, and honestly, like if we win on the multi-5, it's very much like these Dreadknights being strong in the matchup. They have 1 card in their hands. We haven't drawn a land in a while, but we have a bunch of new cards coming here. I guess I'll play a swamp. This is a Bayou. I mean, like Boseiju a token or something. I think needling top deck Karn here is fine. I could save it for Tibble, but how are they casting Tibble? I still don't know. I'll just use this. Karn is like their best draw by a lot, so I think hedging against it here makes some sense. The only reason I'm even like considering it is like they also have Tome in their deck, and they've already played 2 cards. So there's only 2 left. Me watching a lot of like poker content has really, like, I just start thinking about like how many cards they have left in. I mean, how many copies of a card they have left in their deck. I think about it a lot more than I used to. Yeah, I'm worried. They are playing Basic Mountain, which I can't Boseiju. Explosives on 1. Spell Bomb. Yeah, they have a Valky, God of Lies in their deck, and they're trying to hardcast it. All right. Well, always feels good to have Sheoldred and the Ring in play when your opponent has no cards. Let's go up to 28. So I think we play 1 Golgari and hold up double Bowmasters. Yeah, I don't want to play super hard into a Damnation. You know, that's very likely their best draw. Should I double Bowmasters here against the Spell Bomb? Yeah, probably. Although this does immediately play more into the Damnation, I guess. But it's also okay if they Damnation. I just could rebuild really well. And having just like that extra beef post Damnation is pretty nice. It's also so bad if they just draw like any other cantrip card, and I've waited on the Bowmaster. Play just 1? Maybe. I think I just have a good enough follow-up to just do this. Seems fine. They did blow up the Needle, so maybe they have like Karn for bridge here. Should be bad. And rewards me for the double Bowmaster line a lot. Maybe. Actually, no, because I could ping the Karn. No, Grimflayer is so far away from playable, it's crazy. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. So I've already used both Boseijus. And I didn't bring in Force, but I do have, you know, Sheoldreds to win the game with here. I'm gonna Field of Ruin their Urborg, I think. I wonder how many more basics they have. Okay. Some. And then if they minus their Karn, we can ping their Karn. Sheoldred is still ticking their life total down. Do you think Ring or Bowmaster is a better card for Lord of the Rings? I don't know. It really doesn't. We had this kind of similar question the other day. What's the best card from Wilds of Eldraine? What's the best card from Lord of the Rings? It kind of just doesn't matter, right? It's like you just have to figure out which cards are good and like where they fit into decks. That matters a lot more than which card is better. And they're two cards that are very hard to compare. Me Who Is, for 12 months, thank you. That's very funny. Two comments back to back. Bridge might be my least favorite card in the game. Love me some Bridge. It matters, yeah, but why does it matter? Why does it matter which the best card is? So make it a big old ballista. Doesn't matter. It's curious in my opinion. Yeah, but what I'm also saying is it's like they're two cards that are very hard to compare. Is also the point I'm trying to make. That I don't have an easy time answering these kind of questions, and also these questions don't have a very good answer, or a very satisfying answer maybe. Okay, so kill Sheoldred. We have another Sheoldred. How many do we have? Shows we have, and then after this we have one more in the deck. And then the Bowmaster, so they go to 5, and then we have we have our 4th Bowmasters to put them to 4, and so they'll die after 2 more draws. And what's cool here is they actually probably have a lot of like somewhat dead draws that are like, who cares? That are going to like if they have any Night's Whisper in their deck, if they have anything that says draw a card, like that is going to kill them. We have no answer bridge. This is our out, baby. We had 2 Boseijus, but we've played one and we've already channeled one. Now, I thought it was safe to channel on the token because I had Needle on Karn, but my opponent had yeah, just no real reason to be drawing here. But my opponent explosives my Needle. Not wasting anybody's time doing anything. Just get lava axe to my upkeep. Casual upkeep lava axe. Alright, we win. GG. Sure, it'd be nice to rebuy Boseiju with Witherboom Command. You mean the exiled Boseiju? I'm not going to play Witherboom Command. You have to play a ton more fetches, one, which I really don't want to play more fetches. I think one big strength of this build is that our mana base is not very painful in our Dreadnought, Thoughtseize, Sheoldred deck. Or sorry, Ring deck. Okay, we have not seen a Bowmaster from them this whole match. We also have not seen a Sheoldred. I think I'm going to try to cut the pushes completely. Break the Ice to kill their fields honestly seems not that bad. They seem like they have more than 6 even potentially. Although let me just play one force. They're playing Maze Mind. Yeah, we'll bring in the forces actually. They're playing Maze Mind Tome. They're playing explosives. Yeah, that was a mold of 5 on the play, where our only land was Field of Ruin. But Dreadnought is I think very good in these kind of matchups. Terra Sunder is a good sideboard card. Is it better than Force of Vigor? Is it better than Boseiju? Another mold of 5. Another Dreadknight. It does exile the ring. Well, we have tons of answers to the ring in our deck already. That is something to consider. Were you to choose Terra Sunder, it exiles the ring. We have 4 Sheoldreds, 4 Bowmasters, and we also have 4 of our own ring to like when the ring mirrors. Is this an effect that we need? I think we adventure here. We're on a mold of 5. Oh man, I would have loved to be able to cling here, but I need to get forest, I guess. Not a bad mold of 5. I think it's better than Boseiju. Well, Boseiju can target Tron lands, which is a huge part of the reason why it's in the sideboard. It's like it's versatile second disenchant Tron land targeter. Boseiju can't do that. You know, if that wasn't the case, maybe I'd be considering it a little bit more. Okay, I like that they're minusing. They get their own copy of the ring. Needle's kind of an interesting draw. Might get a Needle Karn again, maybe. See what we draw. Can't Thoughtseize them this turn. Yeah, I think I'll just play Goyf Needle Karn. Do you ever sideboard Questing for opposing green decks? I mean, I would. Not in this deck, though. We have, again, 4 Bowmaster, 4 Sheoldred. And it just doesn't feel like we need that kind of effect very much. And also, like, you just, you know, you have your own ring, and you have, in this spot, like, we played the ring first, so we're ahead in the resource trading game. They Cling my Cling. Cling has become, you know, Nasiva's really put Cling on the map again. It's been nice. Because there's a problem with fielding Urborg as we unlock the other Urborgs. They suspend a Profane Tutor. Thirst my Knight. Cling my Knight? Spellbomb. Oh no, Knight was mid. I don't know. It was just a 3-for-1? I can't remember how many times we casted this game, actually. But I feel like we had a very similar situation with it last time, and chat said that it was mid. Not drawing any threats here is really bad, actually. I think I'll just take both. Like, we're 21 cards deep. We have 4 Bowmaster, 4 Sheoldred. Haven't seen any of them. Okay, opponent gets to see how poorly I've drawn. Not gonna field them. I'm out of basics. It's kind of waffling between 6 and 5 basics, but I wanted to have at least 14 of black and green sources too. Okay, come on, Sheoldred Bowmaster. Let's go, I guess. Yeah, let's go. I'll take it. I'll take that. I don't think that I'm adventuring this Mosswood. I'm gonna cling their Karn, so currently they have nothing to get back. Returns no cards to the Takenuma. That's a dub. Want to play the ring? I want to draw 5 cards next turn. You don't want to draw 5 cards next turn? What are you, a coward? You think you're going to take 4 damage and that's a problem? Not in this deck, baby. Or against this opponent who doesn't seem to have Bowmaster or Sheoldred. Listen, I got Sheoldreds in the deck. I'm finding them. So this tutor is coming down here. So they probably tutor up Damnation, which is fine. They're tapping it, baby. All right. Sure. They're not a coward either. Gonna play Bean Control and we're swinging. Yeah, I mean, Bean is a really good deck. I think we're gonna play the challenge on Saturday, but I think it's gonna be the Heliod deck, not the Bean deck. But I would need to play more Beans for sure. Wild's Little Drain is like really exceeded my wildest. Wait, they didn't get Damnation. We'll take that, I guess. Oh, I can't kill it. Damn it. It's only targets opponents. Terrible card. So like a face support, yeah. You know, I have to shout out all the fairy players. Wait, where the hell are my Sheoldreds? I have 4 of them in the deck. Come on, dude. For like thinking that Wizards will ever give you any good cards ever, but it's starting to look like they might not. You might not get any good fairies. I mean, they did Damnation me last turn. Let's just play 2. Hold up the Edict. Speaking of beans, can you look at this? Bant turns. We played against Bant Bean turns in the hands of Reed yesterday in the Super League. Yeah, I don't think that you need to do the Ephemerate Witness loop. So Reed had the really interesting tech of just playing a Mistveil Plains and then just draw your library and then use Mistveil Plains to take infinite turns. That was, I think, very, very creative and kind of exactly what this deck needs to be doing. I do think Nissa is a playable card in this deck. Reed had a Murktide. I think maybe you could just play a Nissa in that spot instead. Or 2 Nissas, 3 Nissas. You have 4 Ephemerates in your deck, and you have 11 creatures that work well with it, which is a little bit low. Okay, we won 2-0. Tough matches, though. Yeah, like I like if you're gonna play this 4 Ephemerates is also good with Time Warp. Yeah, I want to move. I want to play something closer to Reed's deck. Reed's deck was really cool last night. Maybe someone can link it in the chat. Or I can actually find it. No, the best deck. The Ring is pretty good against them. Let's take a Ravager. Yeah, so we had the Super League last night. This was what Reed was playing. Deck was really, really cool. I'm not sure what I would change. But the huge innovation, I think, is just playing a Mistveil Plains to loop Time Warp over and over again. I thought that was great. This was like just very good at like drawing the entire deck and then winning the game. Oh, they're playing Snow Basics? Yeah, the Break the Ices are definitely coming in. Don't forget Reed's crazy sideboarding. Yeah, nobody's as good at sideboarding as Reed. Like I don't even know if I've like really talked about this very much, but like one of the big reasons why I chose to play Yawgmoth at the PT was Reed's sideboard plans were just so good. They were just like I think like several levels ahead of like anything else I had seen, and I was like really happy where we ended up. We had like a long meeting on just like on tuning the sideboard plan too, but it was like Reed's plans were so good that I was that was a big part of what made me comfy regging the deck. Lose all credibility if you come out of one of Colonnade. I mean, Reed's deck is pretty light on wooden cons. It's kind of fine. You could, I don't know if a March would be better or what, but I don't have strong feelings on that Colonnade. For the Super League, yeah, there should be a command for the Super League. Maybe we can pin it in the chat. That might be nice. You really kept this hand? What are you talking about? This hand is like an easy keep in the blinds. We just have drawn all lands in 4 drops. You would have kept it too. Shut up. No, that's not it. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I believe it will be up on YouTube at some point too. I don't know when, but you can watch the VOD on Arog's channel for now. Where you can find the standings. On Twitter at least. On Twitter. From Arog and Will and stuff. Yeah, the matches were really good. Like the stream was super long yesterday, but the matches were definitely really fun. How did you feel if you had to play against Gavin? I actually kind of wanted to play against Gavin because I've played against Coffers very little with Scales, and I that is a matchup that I'd like a little bit more experience in. Yeah, I did talk to. I believe that Gavin MTG is not Gavin, or at least that's what he said yesterday. But that's also what it's hard to tell because that's what the imposter Gavin would have said as well. Yeah, the match against Reed was super close. Like, I ended up, like, the turn where I sat, I feel like there was, like, 2 turns that were, like, so crucial game 1, where I activated Pendlehaven turn 3 just to get 1 extra damage in. It was the right line, but it wasn't, like, I don't know if it was something that every player would have done. But also, like, the turn I sacked the Ravager for 2 extra damage, I think a lot of people would not have taken that line, but it was absolutely the only way to win. Was just, like, sack the Ravager for 2 extra damage that turn. I felt good about that, and then the game 3 play around Leyline Binding with Haywire Might was the deciding factor too. When is Super League coming out on YouTube? I don't know. Someone knows. I don't. Spike, I'm so ballsy and smart. I'm just a nerd for good lines. I don't know, y'all. I felt really good about it. Let me brag a little bit. No, come on. Also, if y'all were watching, like, who else is sacrificing the Ravager there? I feel like a very small percentage of people are sacking the Ravager in that spot. Okay, we're dead. I would. Okay, good job. I mean, some percentage, sure, but it was just a hard line to take. Okay, down a game. Got a lot of sideboard cards. Another bad Dreadknight matchup. It is fine, I think, just to cut him in these kind of matchups. Kind of light on win cons like this. We're just playing this really cool, like, Bant turns brew. I guess the Edicts are also pretty awful. Let's play 4 Thoughtseize through Goyf. The Break Dice are a trap? No, Break Dice is great against. I mean, it is like 2 mana Stone Rain. If they have Grove, Carplusion Forest, Urza Saga, Inkmoth Nexus, and Snow Covered Forest. Like, I'm gonna bring in 2 mana Stone Rain against them. Shilly is slow. I mean, Sheoldred is our win condition against them. It's, you know, it's a better win con than Goyf here. Yeah, you could trim 1, sure. Has Dreadnought felt good overall or slow for modern? It's been very good against the Fatal Push decks, and it's been very bad against these linear decks like Titan Hammer and Scales, but, you know, a lot of cards like this are, for what it's worth. I guess it is called Sinkhole, huh? Raz, the Twitch Prime, thank you. This has also been, like, all stream, too. All land, no land, Mold of 5. But it's like, we've been winning our Mold of 5s. I mean, I'm going to I have Force of Vigor. I have a land, which is a win. Do I keep Push or do I keep Ring? I feel like I want to keep Ring. It's probably too greedy. Rastus Prime, Crispy with 18. Do you think it's more effective than Sideboard Dreadknight? No, it's like, it's not an awful card, and like it you know, it's not just like a blank card. It's a threat, and you know, it can be card advantage, and you know, most of you, like, your threats are kind of dopey in these matchups, anyways. I think it's just correct to main deck them. Inquisition not good enough for the deck, enough room. Yeah, I just don't really want to play it. You could play it, but I'd rather be playing like Klings instead right now. I think we just force here. I'm not 100% sure. What I like about forcing is that, like, if my opponent has Zabaz, I get to, like, Bowmaster it. If they play, there's a lot of creatures I get to kill with Bowmaster by removing the scales. Yeah, so far our opening hands have been really bad, but the top of our library has been pretty good, except for the match against Hammer. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. With Halfling, with the deck benefit from running Grist. I mean, you could play Grist over Goyf, you could play Grist over Dreadnought. Although I think Dreadknight is, like, really good. I've played this kind of deck in the past, and it really feels like it does kind of exactly what this archetype was missing. It's kind of... I articulated it maybe a bit better at the beginning of the stream. Feels like I've been flooding hard. I mean, I've been getting flooding and mana screwed this league. It's okay. But I have played Grist in these kind of decks in the past. It's just not the same card as it is in Yawgmoth. It's just like the 1/1s matter so little in this deck compared to how they matter in Yawgmoth. Like, a lot of decks just get to, oh, okay, you're putting some 1/1s into play, I'm going to do my thing and kill you. It happens, I think, a lot, that a lot of decks just don't care at all about your 1/1s. Compared to Yawgmoth, where the 1/1s are like, oh, these are cards later. These are Court of Calling tappers. It's just a very different dynamic. Well, if we can draw a green source, that can contend with some patchworks, maybe. Chris and Dreadnought sounds like a cool combo. Yeah, combo's a stretch, but there's a synergy, I guess. For sure. I think Cauldron can make Stoneforge for a Cauldron a better plan. Yeah, I considered playing Stoneforge in the Heliod deck yesterday, kind of for that exact reason, and I did end up deciding against doing that, but I think you could. We're so dead. It's okay, you know, we've won on a few Bolt of 5s today. It's okay for us to brick on this one. Although if we draw a green source and we go Goyf with push up, you know, maybe we could get out of this. I think I'm gonna ping Zabaz. Which obviously they'll Ravager. Fine. I'll never brag about making a good play again. I'll never talk about making a good play again. I was so happy to make it though. It was awesome. Maybe we could have just pinged them and then chump block. That could end up being better. Yeah, but you can't win every ball to 5. Although, I don't know. Maybe this one's winnable now. Copium. How about Ping the Ravager? It's all kind of the same. I guess Ping the Ravager, you're more likely to keep your token. That's kind of nice. So you want to push the Ravager, maybe. Spranta 13, thank you. I don't know if I can fight through this, y'all. Also, I will say this, I'll take this platform I've been given to beg Scales players yet again to not play Pathway. It is the worst. Pathway is worse than Stomping Ground, it's worse than Carplusian Forest, and it's worse than Grove. It's okay if you don't like Grove. It's also worse than the Red-Green Fastland, I think. It's just the worst one. Please, I'm playing Pathway in this deck, but there's different reasons here. You just don't have that many lands that fix your colors of mana, and you really need dual lands and Scales. You need them to have for both colors. A lot of times you only draw one. I don't know how Mosswood Dreadknight's been performing. Maybe you could help me evaluate it by watching the stream. Oh, I'm even just. I thought that I was at a high enough life total where I could block and force them to do something. No, I'm just dead. I block here, they just modular overkill me. Okay, 2-1. Sure, the 10 months. Thank you. Spawn of the 13. Despite having 4 better options and endless discussions about it, they still end up playing the worst one. And I don't get it. Mount Doom, huh? I wonder how much damage this will deal them. I think I'm going to fetch Swamp turn 1 so that I can have a bigger Goyf the following turn while also playing around Blood Moon. Grove ends up really bad versus other ring opponents. I don't know about really bad. But it's a downside. It has a downside, for sure. There are no Taigas available. But like scales, sometimes you have these games like we had against Reed last night where you need to get in chip damage and like that's the only way to win against a combo deck. That happens sometimes. But the majority of your games involve outgrinding your opponent or setting up for a combo kill. This is the majority of your wins with Scales. And with that game plan, I think Grove, that philosophy Grove makes the most sense to me. Okay, let's wait on the Tarmogoyf. I don't want to play Tarmogoyf into a Scanned Fury when I could just wait a turn and then cling to Dust of Fury so it doesn't come back. I did Fighting. Thank you for the 4-month resub. The program should kick in next month, which I'm pretty excited for. No, we lost to the Scales, Mr. Sari. Rolled the 5 on the play game too. Thank you, Vay. Thank you. I tried to talk about the good lines today, and we had 100 people in chat make fun of me. We've been bantering a lot today. It's been fun. But again, I understand, like, I have lost games because of the Grow of Life gain. I've lost games because Carplusion Force deals me damage. I've seen people lose games because Pathway can't tap for red. I've seen people lose games because Copperline Gorge enters tapped on turn 4. I've seen people lose games because of Stomping Ground. It's just... it's okay. I think it's okay to pick anything besides Pathway. Pathway is the worst one, I think. I just am begging Scales players. Well, dude, means they kept a one-lander. They could have had swamps in their hand, but they didn't. So they're just like, I'm taking 3, brother. That's a fetch shock right there. It's the same. It's a fetch shock. I guess they only took 2, actually. Would I mix of each land? Yeah, it's okay. As long as none of them are Pathway, it's fine. Pathway is the best art. That's pretty good. Pretty good argument. Vex with a 31, thank you. So you want to make sure in this spot to crack your fetch in response to the trigger, so you have 1 extra card in the yard for your Cling Escape. Firelit Thicket. Okay, that one. Okay, that we found a green red dual land worse than Pathway. We found one. Maybe they might have Death Shadow in their deck actually. If they're gonna play Mount Doom turn 1. Thank you, Mr. Sarah. Yeah, we have a good time here, huh? We have a good time. So no game action from them yet. Yeah, I know chat loves when it's fun. I enjoy the back and forth. Some days, you know, it's just like if I'm not in the mood for it, I just am a little bit more polite. But I enjoy the banter. I enjoy the goofing. I hope nobody gets bothered. Okay. Oh, thanks. I missed them saying this. I get very passionate about conversations about Magic, you know, and I think it's actually pretty crazy. I think we have like legitimate productive conversations about Magic every day, and then we also have the same like 3 conversations about like ban lists and nonsense and stuff like that. But we also have like real conversations about Magic every day, which is awesome. What makes Pathway playable in the deck? Yeah, so yeah, this deck has low color requirements, wants a mana base that's not very painful, and we want to do this now, so if they're going to undie, they have to like at least take an extra damage. Has a mana base that's not very painful, and we want lands that enter untapped on turn 4, because we were playing 4 Sheoldred, 4 Rings, so Blooming Marsh gets a lot worse in this deck. And again, our requirements are very low. Our only double cost card in the deck is Sheoldred. If you're going to play Voidwalker over Dreadknight, then like it's so much harder to play all these pathways in Field of Ruins, but now you have Dreadknight, and you know I think it unlocks building the deck in this way. Maybe a Hardcast Fury. Hardcast Grief. They get to see my lands. Man, Grief sucks. So we can escape Cling. Kind of an interesting dynamic. If we just draw into the land, we can escape Cling. Main phase to play around a Bowmaster, and we can escape Cling on their instep to play around another Grief or Discord spell. They have more Discord spells than they have Bowmasters. For whatever that's worth. And the Bowmaster's also not that bad. Like they'll get to kill this if they draw one anyways. Yeah, so I think that we will wait on the Cling. Do you want to escape right now? Go ahead and look at this +3/4. I mean, it'll still be a 3/4, right? Yeah, it'll still be a 3/4. Just target one of their lands. But even if they made it a 2/3, like, it's not that different on this board, and, you know, drawing an extra card in these top deck battles is just, it's just a time walk. Yeah, we need Gigant, though. Come on, opponent. Let's speed this up. All right, let's go. Dread Whispers. Now we've got the ball rolling. Come on, opponent, please. I did a co-stream with Evan earlier this week, and he has also noticed the same phenomenon that the scam players on Magic Online right now are all so slow. Like, what is happening? What is happening that every scam player is just the slowest player you play against all day? I'm so confused. This happens. I feel like this happens almost every time I play the matchup. That our opponent, it's when we're playing against scam, our opponents are just like checked out on our turn. You know, they're not F6. They just everything just takes so long to resolve. I just don't understand. The yellow hat effect? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, this isn't how Gab plays. Gab doesn't, you know, just be slow for no reason. Yeah, is it new players? I don't know. Bro, chill. I was chill about it the first like 30 times. But like what is happening? And why is it only the scam players? Like they're all playing the deck in like the exact same way. It's so weird. Oh, I guess I should have played Goy first because I'm a dying card. Only 5 clock difference. This is gonna be an easy 10-minute clock difference, I think. We're in game 1. We're gonna get up to 10 like very soon, I think. Yeah, the all access token's coming out soon. It's definitely gonna be a game changer. Imagine playing Charmer first. I mean, I said it and then recognized I'm still supposed to attack. Yeah, but we've already acknowledged that this was a punt. It's okay. Yeah, a lot of people are, you know, double queuing, doing 2 things at once. My opponent is also, they said they're a fan, they're playing slow. But I'm commenting less on this specific opponent and more so that it just happens, like, every day. And it seems like it's, you know, we have slow opponents every day, but, like, the people who are just taking forever to resolve stuff on your opponent's turn is usually scam. And maybe it is just new players trying to learn the format. But it's just a phenomenon. And I haven't been the only one that's noticed it either. Yeah, apparently MTG Gavin is not the Gavin in our chat, from what I could surmise yesterday. Yeah, allegedly, but that's also what MTG Gavin would say. Okay, so we have enough cards in graveyard to escape a Cling again. If they attack with Grief... I'll double block. I mean, the Mosswood is actually great at blocking our Grief here. Opponent's Grief here. Of all the WoE brews, what's my favorite? I mean, the Night of Sweet's Revenge deck has been the coolest. The Heliod has probably been the best. Alright, let's pass. Could it be internet connection related? Some of it could be internet connection related, yeah. To some extent, there's also, like, this, you know, not F6ing. It's okay. It is obviously fine, but I just am a little bit baffled by the phenomenon, you know. Pathway looking pretty bad here. I agree, yeah. Overgrown Tomb would be much better. Would be much better here. Okay, so let's block like this. Have we done Confectioner to a combo? It's tentatively the backup deck for today. I am pretty tired. I was in front of a camera for like 9 hours yesterday and did like a lot more off-stream Magic stuff. But I'll try to get there, and you know, it'll just all depend on a few things. Okay, so Goyf bolted. Let's cling to dust now. Oh, whoops. Oh, I almost exiled my Dreadknight. That would have been so embarrassing. So I can make them sacrifice a token to keep my Goyf. Let's do that, I guess. Creature token, so they can't sacrifice the Wicked roll. I kind of feel like Todd's comment of, you think this is slow, try Pioneer, is also cursed us to cursed us to be up 10 minutes in game 1. Alright, Dread Whispers. I will say a card is looking very good in this matchup, which is, you know, to be expected. Yeah, my favorite Will Brew has been the Knight of Sweets Revenge decks, but the best has, I think, been... Might attack. That's not. The best has been the Helia deck, probably. Yeah, we can Boseiju the token, I guess. Probably better to Boseiju this. Yeah, the Bant Bean was fun. We had some good decks. Maybe I will Boseiju the Wicked roll. Yeah, I will actually. So I can. I'm okay just keeping the Fury around. I want to be drawing a card with this every turn. But this will let us keep our Goyf around. I don't think I've never Boseiju'd a Wicked roll token. I wonder if anybody in chat has. How's Cauldron Scales? Cauldron Scales has been very good. It's been very good. Cauldron is a staple. Is just in the Scales deck permanently. I think that you're going to want to play 2 or 3. I've been playing 2 and been like somewhat comfortable with 2. Having 4 Ancient Stirrings means you can dig for it pretty aggressively, and you really don't want to draw 2 copies that often. But some people have been like very confident that 3 is the correct number. I could see it going either way. Not blocking Fury. Oh no! I meant to block. I meant to block the Fury with the Dreadknight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I totally thought that I had done this. That's pretty bad. Draws Overgrown Tomb. I think I still leave back the Dreadknight. Could be okay to cast it here. We'd obviously be in so much better position if I just blocked here. Yeah, the clock is always deals so much psychic damage too. Although we do kind of have to race the Flip Fable. Maybe it was better to attack with the Knight. I think my opponent is going to keep attacking here, and drawing that extra card is going to be a big deal. If we attack with the Knight and they draw a removal spell, we're in kind of bad shape. Boseiju the Fable will grow the Goyf too. Well, if we want to kill the Fury, then we have to Boseiju the Not Dead after. Oh, it would grow the Goyf to kill the would also have killed the Grief, right? You're right. So 1 punt and 1 misclick, huh? So they don't loot, so no Bowmaster trigger. They draw an undashed Ragavan. Yeah, I got a little maybe tunnel visioned on like the new line, Boseiju the token. Yeah, the matchup overall is probably as good, I agree. Knight is really, really good at matchups like this and really mediocre against linear decks, which I think is probably what you could expect with a card like this. Yeah, I think it seems like we will have a hard time losing, barring like a top deck Terminate or something. Even get to gain life. It's like a main phase. Yeah, I bet Knight is really annoying and limited. Sounds like Knight might be a 2 of. Well, so one thing is, I don't think I've talked a lot about this deck today. I don't really think I've done a great job articulating why it is that Knight is a really good 2-drop in this build specifically. But like Knight is so good in this deck because you have that extra card draw engine, which is like exactly something you need in these Sheoldred Ring decks. Like I've played green black with Night's Whisper before. Night's Whisper is tough because you don't have that extra early pressure. and also Night's Whisper is one and done and doesn't give you an engine. It's just a card draw spell. Dreadknight is an engine. It's a card that you are casting every single turn. It's something that is going to absolutely like draw you, give you something to do with your mana every single turn. And that engine, that mana sink, is another good reason to play Halfling. Halfling gives you a greater density of net drops with the Sheoldreds and Rings. Playing Dreadknight over Voidwalker means that you don't have any cheap double cost cards, so you can play Pathways, which are great in a mana base that wants to be painless, wants to play 4-drops. It's great in a deck that has also low cost requirements too, and so like there just isn't another card like this that is all of that: a threat, low color requirements, and a card draw engine. And so this is why you can play the Field of Ruins in an archetype like this, is because of the color requirements on Dreadknight. And I think that this is like something that's like you can't really know until you've spent a lot of time like trying to build these kind of decks in the past, which I have. Would you play Mosswood? I still like Mosswood. I think would be a lot worse in Jund, where your mana is more painful. Your mana is a lot more painful. So non-token creature here. Your mana is a lot more painful, which means that the life loss is worse. You have more mana sinks in Jund. You have if you're playing Urza Saga, like it's not going to be a card that plays with Saga well, because they're going to compete on what you want to do with your mana. You have to use both. Like Saga, you have to use it or you lose it the next turn, and the same thing with Dreadknight. I think if you were going to play it in Jund, it wouldn't be a 4-of, but I think Golgari is a deck that you can play it as a 4-of, and is a reason to play Golgari instead of Jund. Yeah, so I just want to be cutting the Thoughtseizes for endurances post-mortem this matchup. That's my plan. Stick to it. So I think I did a better job articulating the thoughts there. Just seeing what my thoughts were. Yeah, I know. Like I wanted to go in depth there because when I did the deck tech today, I don't think that I did a great job illustrating those thoughts. It's kind of like a lot of moving pieces that has come from me playing a lot of Sheoldred Ring decks and like kind of understanding like the struggles with the mana. Like Jund has a very painful mana base, and the Ring Thoughtseize plan is very painful, and so like that was a big reason why we went to mono black, was a less painful mana base. So this mana base is a little bit more painful, but also comes with a lot of green cards, which can help a lot. Yeah, that was also like the Go Live notification. Like we actually have reasons to play Golgari over like Jund. Or mono black. It's a really very new thing. It's been a long time since there's been like a good reason to play Golgari besides I want to be a hero deck. Break Dice is good against Tron mostly. It has a few other applications. Is one Boseiju main, one side, standard for most decks? I would say that it's standard. I don't do it that often, but just the way I was mapping out the sideboards, I think it fit pretty well, where I wanted like one more anti-Tron card, one more disenchant. Okay, so I'm going to get scammed here. Currently up 12 minutes at the beginning of game 2. Yeah, I agree. I think our opponent is new. It does seem like there is a phenomenon of new players seeming to pick Scam to learn the format. That is like seemingly very standard. You know, that you just want to play the best deck and to dip your toes into a format. It's been happening a lot lately, and so maybe people are getting into Modern for the first time. That might be because of the Pro Tour. That might be because of I don't know. I don't know what else it could be. NB 11 months. Thank you. Glad you liked the commentary. It was definitely fun. Yeah. Like looking at Reed's deck was so cool yesterday. It was certainly the highlight of the night for me. Also, Caroline made some really crazy plays. Like there was like 2 or 3 times yesterday where I saw like the board state and like I had perfect information, and so like we could kind of tell what the right play was. But I knew that if I had Caroline's information, I would never make the right play. But Caroline was able to suss out the right play with imperfect information, which is always I just get so nerdy for good Magic lines. This is something I could just talk about like creative and interesting. Oh, let's go! What a top deck! I could talk about like new good Magic lines forever. It's just my favorite when like someone makes a play I haven't seen or makes a play I wouldn't make. It does something good. I just love it. So I'm so passionate about it. Just like a certain someone with the Arcbound Ravager sack. People kept talking about me sacking the Haywire Might against Leyline Binding thing. I thought that wasn't that complicated, but I thought the Arcbound Ravager thing, that was one that was a lot more borderline for me. Yeah, there is some... The Moto deal starts today, but it doesn't start for, like, I think an hour. Maybe it just started. It started before this match. Or after this. It started after this match started, for sure. What was the Arcbound River situation? I had 2 patchworks in play, and I played Ravager. Reed responded to... Or, hold on. I did something that prompted Reed to... kill an artifact that I sacked to Ravager. I think it was an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. And I just had a 2/2 Ravager, and Reed was like at like 16, and I had a 4/4 Patchwork and a 5/5 Patchwork. And I just realized that the 2 extra damage, it was super duper relevant that turn for the taking turns deck. Like, Reed was going to start taking, you know, tons of turns very soon. And if I did the 2 extra damage, he could only crack 1 more fetch land the rest of the game, which is very, very tough for his deck, which is super, super mana hungry. And it did end up winning the game. That I did the 2 extra damage, is what Reed said. He just couldn't crack another fetch. He couldn't get enough mana into play. Yeah, I believe the Super League games are going on YouTube. I don't know when. Like, I would imagine the earlier weeks are already on YouTube. But yesterday was great. Yesterday was like the whole event was super fun, and things. The matches were good, which, you know, isn't always the case with these kind of events. But matches were good, commentary was good, and there was a lot of content too. Yeah. Replayed Runner Rings after that, but it wasn't enough. And like, that was another thing with the 2 extra damage. The rings were really relevant, and Reed would also have a hard time just using a removal spell on both halflings because both patchworks because the ward 2 also. Yes, they should be posted here. Let me see if the other ones are already out. Yeah, so this is Honorug's YouTube channel, which I am subscribed to. And so this is, each match looks like it's posted separately. Definitely something I really encourage y'all to support the Super League production. It's, you know, it's very cool that the Super League is back, but, you know, we're not going to get another one if people don't watch, you know what I mean? So I encourage you to subscribe on YouTube, watch the broadcast on Twitch, tell your friends about it. Because I would love to see, you know, us get another season next season. You know, maybe Vintage, but maybe a different format. Maybe Cube. Cube Super League would be cool. Oh, I love Brad Owen. my favorite poker vlogger though is J-Man. J-Man Poker is the best. All right, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. So bad. I've tried it so many times, and it's just always so disappointing. We're also not playing Urza Saga, but. Even if we were. Okay, let's keep this. I might put back Bowmasters. I might put back Sheoldred. Let's put back Sheoldred. I think in these hands, a lot of times you really want to put back your 4-drop, because if you just draw another 4-drop, it's so bad. How are we doing the Saturday challenge? So, we played Sunday's Super Qualifier last weekend instead of the challenge. The challenge before that, we top 4 with Scales. We also played Scales in the Super Qualifier, this time with Soul Cauldron. It was like a 550 person event though, 10 rounds. You had to go X1 to top 8. I think we dropped at like 4-2 or 5-2. How's Dreadknight felt? Very, very good against these kind of decks and very mediocre against linear decks, but it has absolutely, I think, shined against our Scam and Coffer's opponents, of which we've had a lot of them today. I think I'm actually going to lead on Thoughtseize here. I think I'm going to play my Pathway also. Oh, 2 Voidwalkers. I don't like that. Obviously not as good against Voidwalker. Yeah, I think I'll take 1. Is that good? Scales is, in my opinion, like it's my #1 choice for a tournament at the moment. I've been doing well with it. A lot of people have been doing well with it. It is a good modern deck. It also is like one of the few good. It's one of the few like good modern decks that also has a good Scam matchup. You know, this is part of the reason why Murktide is so good, is that it's good against Scam. So Exile's Field of Ruin. Let's see what we draw. Obviously wish I had my Bowmaster back, but you live and you learn. Surprised the opponent let on Thoughtseize versus Ragavan to play. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, Reed's the matchup for Scales against Reed was tough. All Exile removal, Rest in Peace, Supreme Verdict, and then also like a combo that you have to raise. It was a good match. I think that like for my pod yesterday, like Scales was not like there were 2 Karn the Great Creator decks, and then Reed's deck of all Exile removal, Dress Down, Supreme Verdict, and like the Infinite Turn combo. It was scary. Love Scales been struggling with the Tron matchup. Yeah, so yesterday I played against Tron against Caroline in the Super League. You know, I think everything went right for how you can beat Tron. Like one of the biggest things was I just knew I was up against Tron, so I knew I had to mulligan to a really fast hand. I ended up like instead of mulliganing to a really fast hand, I kept a hand that was I kept a hand that was a bit slower. Or sorry, I kept a hand that was really fast that I might have mulliganed in the blind. But I probably would have kept it no matter what, but I knew it was going to be good enough against Tron, likely on the play. I won the die roll, she mulliganed a lot. It was just kind of, you know, exactly what you need to happen. Okay, let's draw a card, but let's do it off of a basic swamp here. I know they have a Voidwalker, so I don't want to not draw my card here. Play Scales. I've played Scales is the deck I've played the most on this channel. I played it last night. You know, there's lots of YouTube content of me playing Scales. You can watch it on stream over there. There is no shortage of Aspiring Spike Scales content out there. Can maybe have try to double block this with 2 halflings this turn. Murktide is good against Scam. I think the Murktide matchup versus Scam is very close. I think that it is somewhat play draw dependent. I think that before Bowmaster was printed, Murktide was a little bit favored against Scam, and I think that after Bowmaster is printed, I think Scam is a little bit favored, especially if they still main deck 3 Terminates, which most Scamless do, as far as I can tell. I think I would give us the edge to Scam, but it's close. I think that Scam players also think they're favored in the matchup, and I think Murktide players think they're favored in the matchup, but my perception is it used to be better than it is now. Okay, huge that my opponent doesn't know how to play around Mosswood Dreadknight yet. Crouching Biscuit, think of it Twitch Prime. Yeah, Mistfell Plains is the Infinite Turn combo in Reed's deck. Ah, my halflings. It's pretty good. But if my Sheoldred can go uninterrupted, we'll be fine. Ooh, okay, let's play Ring. I have talked about why we're not splashing red in the deck. Not splashing red makes your mana base much less painful, and you get to play a ton of Field of Ruins, which I think is super duper valuable. And Mosswood Dreadknight is like another good card advantage engine with low color requirements that enables this too. We've played Black Green before, and we've realized that like the deck is really good when you draw Ring because you could ramp into it. You have all this interaction and cheap threats, but you only have Ring as a card draw spell in a deck that's like really built to like take advantage of a card draw engine, and so just having a second one is such a big deal. Definitely rough if we can't draw an answer to the Fury copy, although we can take 12 next turn, right? So we go up to 15. We can even take 14. Yeah, we're not dead. Can't cast Thoughtseize. Obviously would like to not have to take 14. Oh, upkeep terminate. Okay, game 2. We did just beat Scam. Did feel like the matchup was pretty good. Let's see how this goes. – I like the sideboard plan of just in 4 Endurance, out 4 Thoughtseize. I think you do Berg for the 11 months. You didn't read... Yeah, I wasn't reading chat while I was playing. They were yelling at lethal against read. That's so funny. I did have lethal against read. I did. Second Boseiju, you get to remove Fable? No, you get like 3 for 1, right? They get their shit token, they get the land, and you lose the Boseiju. It's pretty bad. Just like you just have to play through the Fable. Why is Endurance good in the matchup? It stops them from scamming their stuff. If you have an opening hand and they try to scam Fury turn 1 because you're a Fatal Push deck, you get to stop it with Endurance, which is pretty important. It also like just blocks everything pretty well, except for Scam Fury, but also stops Scam Fury. It's good. It blocks Bowmasters pretty well. But it's also like, I think like it's really nice to not have to play Thoughtseize in this matchup, because sometimes you want Thoughtseize to stop their scams. But we just have Cling to Dust Endurances instead, and so our top decks are going to be really good while we're also having a game plan that can stop them from doing their thing. Yeah, E is for mostly Rhinos and Hammer. Comes in some other spots. Could you play Filigree Sages? I don't know what that card does. Or isn't that card just like... No, I think I'm thinking of Filigree Familiar. What's Filigree Sages? We think about Yawgmoth. I like Yawgmoth. I want to play some Yawgmoth with Cauldron. I think that a lot of people are working on Yawg Cauldron at the moment, so I've just kind of been sitting back and watching those decks develop. But I think Cauldron is a very big upgrade for the archetype. Cauldron has been much more impressive than I thought it would be. Definitely the kind of card you have to cast a few times to understand. I mean, one Filigree Silex. I think with creativity not being popular, I prefer explosives to Silex. Against like Rhinos specifically, it's really tough if you spend 2 mana on a Silex or Ratchet Bomb, and they Force of Negation it compared to using explosives on 0. You just play it on 0, and then if they Force of Negation, you spend 0 mana, and they've just you've Hymn-Witch Rocked them. And you keep playing. And you can do something else with your mana. Is Mosswood good for Yawgmoth? No, don't play it in Yawgmoth. It's a grindy like mid-range card, not a combo card. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw Scam just do nothing the first 3 turns. We'll take it though. Yeah, I kind of thought they'd probably have this. So if I tap the ring now, the Endurance can get bolted, but I think I want to play around second Bowmaster. Alright, take 1. The Goyf hits turn 5, Goyf would be an 0-1. I guess it'd be 1. Come on, Fatal Push. That's pretty good. So you can kill my Endurance with this, too. So you're up to 22, Endurance dies, Sheoldred dies. They have 9 power in play, really? Three cards left in their hand. Yeah, Goyf will be bigger. Shame we didn't draw any removal spells this game. If we draw another Sheoldred, we can tap ring. If we draw a removal spell for a Bowmaster, we can tap ring. I think, so we take 2 down to 9 here.
And then if we tap ring, we're taking 6 down to 3. It's kind of asking a lot. Alright. If my opponent scams here, do we hardcast? Yeah, okay. Don't have to worry about it. If you have third Bowmaster, good shit. Good shit indeed. Oh, I forgot about the... Oh, I guess I didn't calculate for another Bowmaster. Dead. We can block and stuff. We're just into our ring next turn. Okay, 3-2. Let's do one more. I'll save the Knight's deck for tomorrow, probably. See what happens. I guess if we O2, maybe we'll switch that one.